I would love, love, love to open it up to any questions that you may have or comments that you're feeling into. It looks like we still have a handful of people on. We have one person who said, I used to be a very sexual person, but trauma happened. I miss the way I used to be. I should start working on healing that. I've been feeling like that time in my life is a lost cause, too wounded to heal enough. And I think you're not the only one, right? Like, I think there's a lot of women out there and men too, who have had sexual trauma and it closed us down, right? Myself included, right? And so, where are those places and spaces that we can feel that I'm worthy of healing, that I'm worthy to shift? I'm okay being the beautiful goddess queen that I am in all areas of my life, including my sexuality, right? So if you're feeling that shame, like I very recently felt a lot of shame, like, how the fuck did I get involved in all of that? Like, I should have known better. Like I was shaming myself. And so part of this healing work, part of this coming back into your full alignment is to forgive yourself of like, like shit happens and I'm worthy of the forgiveness I can give myself. I'm worthy to cut the cords energetically. I'm worthy for the soul retrieval that needs to happen. If it does, to say, I am whole, complete, just as I am. And those places and spaces of that created the shadows within me, those dark spaces that I'm trying to hide from, can be loved on, accepted, and they may or may not go away. This isn't about taking a giant magic eraser and erasing those heavy spots on you. It's knowing that they affected you, but they're not bad. Like, if we are shaming ourselves, if we're calling that thing that's tainted who I am is bad, then it's really hard to love on all of us. Like, can we love on that too? Can we love on that aspect of ourselves that had the trauma, right? And then another comment, thank you for the conversation today. It deeply resonated. A place I just thought it was okay to ignore and abandon. Thank you for this. Yes, love yourself again, love your body in all of the ways. And however that looks to you, like, I don't think this needs to be, once again, it doesn't need to be a cookie cutter thing. Like, I think that's why in Soul Rising, we have so many activating actions. And if this is a conversation that people are interested in, like, I know in Bozeman, I'm going to be doing a women's tantric workshops where it's cacao, sacred conversations, somatic experiences. I'm doing a co-gendered live in-person events with my partner, Jim, in to do cacao ceremonies with sacred sex talks. And I love it. And if there is interest and demand, we'll bring it into the online space as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, please let us know. And with that, I just want to say, go fucking love yourself. Like, go love yourself in all of those places and spaces in your life that you have access to. And if that means 5 minutes locked into a bathroom to escape your children, go for it. If you need to put your kids in front of the TV for a couple hours so that you can go cry or have a self-pleasure experience or whatever it means as part of your healing path, it's worth it, because when you come out of those spaces, you're a more vibrant, healed version of yourself. You're more aligned. You're more excited for life. And when we make ourselves small, we're dimming our light. And my calling is to help brighten everyone's light. And what does that look like? Yeah. Another question I have been in the closet curious about: how would I ever get beyond the shyness to go to it? Well, I think that's where the self practice starts. Like, if you're shy around others, how do you do this in a container where it's for you? How do you create a sacred space, right? So if you say, I need an hour and you have the candles and you have the incense and you have the feather and you have just sensory things about you to create a sensual experience. So let's say, like, I'm not saying like go straight to penetration. I'm saying, how can you use a feather as a way just to gently touch yourself to realize that touch is safe again? Or the sensory experience of just feeling the slowness, to recognize, noticing your breath, noticing your inhale and exhale, and how long and drawn out can you make them, right? Can you move your pelvis, whether you're circling your pelvis or doing figure eights while you breathe, while you moan, while you experience your body and loving your body in all of those ways before, we go straight to our pelvis region, right? Like, do other somatic experience work, do other self-pleasure work. What does that look like for you? Maybe it's eating a raspberry and doing it super slow and really tasting and feeling the texture as it moves through your mouth, right? Like, I think there's a lot of ways to come to our own physical experiences that I'm saying self-pleasure that aren't necessarily sexual. They're sensual. And I think sensuality is the door into sexuality, especially if we have a lot of trauma stored in our body. We need to create sacred containers to feel safe in our own skin first, right? So these are those luxurious long baths where you just softly stroke your body, like let yourself touch your own skin, caress your face like you would want your lover to, meaning you become your own inner lover, touch yourself the way you want to be touched. And if there's a no to penetration, if there's no to genital stimulation, that's perfectly fine. Who says, like, I think this is the key. If there's a goal to have an orgasm, you're putting this pressure on yourself that doesn't need to be there, right? Can we have pleasure? Can we have plus? Can we have ecstasy without the expectation that it has to be orgasmic? And when that is off the table, let me tell you, it's a lot easier to get there, because when we take the pressure off and we can just be in our bodies and feel all of the feels, then we're realizing, wow, I didn't even know I had an erogenous zone on the inside of my elbow, right? Or on this area of my neck or my ankles or whatever it may be, right? So can you just come to your body with some beautiful shea butter and love up on yourself by giving yourself gentle touch, right? How can we do that with doing gasho for 5 minutes first, getting our Reiki hands going, and then applying your massage oil, right? Like, there's so many juicy ideas to say yes to you, right? Like, I think there's so many rules and taboos around what self-pleasure is supposed to look like and what sex is supposed to look like. And what if we made up our own rules? What if we threw out the rule book and just came to, I like this and I don't like that. And it's a self-discovery process, right? And if we know our bodies first, then we can have these conversations with our sexual partners of going, I desire this. Can you meet me in that desire? Here's my fear. You'll reject me. Here's my boundary. I need to be done in an hour. Or my boundary is, I don't want to be touched here, right? And go and move through that process. But how do we create those conversations and those healing containers in a sacred way, right? Then that's when we're really in the tantra world, right? Because our bodies are a sacred container. Full stop. Our bodies are a sacred container. And if we can treat our bodies like the temples that they are, and the way we eat, what we watch, how we touch ourselves, things are going to start to shift, because you're not going to allow anyone else to touch you out of congruence with that, right? And so if you know, I deserve to be honored, loved, respected, worshiped, whatever it may be, and that's the level of expectation, right? But you have to do it for yourself first. And I think I was caught in this trap. Like, I wanted to find someone else who could do it for me. I didn't want to do the work. I just wanted someone to worship me. And I hadn't ever worshiped myself, right? Like, what if we started there? What if we all were worshiping our own bodies, our own temples for our Kundalini rising energy to rise, to have these full crown chakra opening experiences with ourselves, right? Like, I think there's just so much there that we can unpack. That's, to me, that's step one. If we're not worshiping ourselves, how can we ever expect a partner to do it? Right? Okay, let me look at the comments. Okay. Good point to start small. Okay, yeah, I have several ideas now, things that I buried and ignored that I used to enjoy. Yeah, look at that. Like, look at your past and what worked for you. Why did you like it? How can you rediscover it? What feels good? I feel very confident in the power behind the Reiki I can give now. I never thought about putting Reiki into sexuality. Uh, they're out temple. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Any other questions, comments, thoughts around this conversation? And if you are interested in continuing the conversation, if you want a masterclass on this, this is something I'm definitely playing with because I really find it absolutely incredibly empowering. When you know how to worship yourself and what you like, then your world it can be expansive. And even if that's without a partner, and I think that's the thing, like, if you know how to achieve this level of bliss and ecstasy without a partner, it can just be super phenomenal when you have a partner who's ready to meet you in that energy. Okay. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Until next time, may the whispers of wisdom rise from within. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a great week. Know, too, that we have our Reiki Master Teacher training coming up. And this is like part of it, like in a way that like I am okay with talking about any aspect of Reiki. And I'm pretty much an open book. So if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. And so our class starting on Thursday nights, they're going to be 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. And there's like 8 hours of pre-recorded material. These are things that we can talk about. These are things that I want to invite in because it's part of our own journeys, our own development, and our own sacred spirituality. So with that, lots of love. Mwah, take care, and I'll see you next time.